The United States continues to help our allies. Both the House and Senate approved a $95 billion foreign aid package where a majority of the funds will go to help both Israel and Ukraine as they're each dealing with extensive wars. So how much will this help and aid our allies in the coming days and weeks? Joining me now is retired U.S. Air Force Brigadier General and Newsmax contributor Blaine Holt. Also with us, national security analyst Brigitte Gabriel. Thank you so much. General, let's start off with you first. I want to start off with Ukraine. When Joe Biden signed this aid package earlier, he stated that some U.S. aid could get to Ukraine within days, which means it can be there. It could be that right there as we're talking about it right now. We're also learning that the U.S. has quietly shipped new long-range missiles to Ukraine. Talk to me about how impactful this aid will be and how necessary it is in order to help them fight this war.
Yeah, so, I mean, we're standing by Ukraine. We've made the commitment to them, and the funding package is going through. It's not important to debate the up down of that. It just is what it is now. What's still missing and what needs to be fleshed out is, okay, resources have been put against Ukraine. What will that strategy be and what can be achieved? And this is not being talked about anywhere, and there's no diplomacy being talked about anywhere. Even Russia, that is now showing signs that finally the sanctions are starting to grind up that economy of theirs a little bit. There's the parts and pieces. So what will we do with these weapons, long-range missiles? What will we do with Abrams tanks? Because my understanding is they're being pulled back from the absolute front of the battlefield. We don't know because we don't understand what it is we're going to work with Ukraine to achieve in the face of about 600,000 Russian forces that are showing signs of going on the offensive and breaking through the lines. So again, we've thrown money at it. We're standing by them, and we're drawing down our own weapons. But we need diplomacy, and we've got to have some strategy.
Brigitte, let's talk about the military aid that's going to Israel. Obviously, some of it will help Israel's defenses, the Iron Dome. But are you also concerned about the rise of anti-Semitic speech here on college campuses, homegrown terrorists? And then, you know, we're going to talk about it more, but the director of the FBI himself saying that they're not even monitoring these protests. What's your reaction?
This is shocking because they should be monitoring these protests. Look, I agree 100% with our support for Israel because we are supporting Israel. Israel provides us with the top intelligence about our enemies within, about the radical Islamic terrorists that Israel is fighting. We have the same enemy. And we have seen this very clearly in the last few weeks in America, on the streets of America, because the Hamas members and supporters are here in the United States on the streets screaming like we saw in Michigan, death to America, along the same sentence as death to Israel. So we have the enemy here that all the radical Islamic terrorists have to do is basically recruit from. If I was the FBI, if I was the counterterrorism task force, I would be monitoring all these students protesting, get their emails, find out who they are communicating with, find out who are they active with, who are they following on their social media. Are they communicating with terrorists? Because I can tell you that terrorists are already monitoring these students because they are very easy to be lured into committing a terrorist attack on American soil. When they loudly scream, "We are Hamas," identifying with the terrorist organization against the United States of America, they can very easily carry a terrorist attack for that terrorist organization against their fellow citizens in America.
You know, staying on that topic, General Holt, we have less than a minute left. You know, that video we were just showing of the protests, you see all of the tents, they look the same, right? The tents, right? Now we're also learning that George Soros, he's behind funding all of these protests. These are coordinated. These are not organic. What does that tell you, sir?
Well, it tells me a lot of things. It tells me that not only are these centrally commanded events, but that this is transnationalism working with our enemies overseas. So when are we going to hold those like him who fund these things? If you create damage in the United States, like 4 years ago with Antifa BLM and they burned down cities, now we're going to see it on our campuses. Why aren't you held to account? Why aren't you prosecuted? You should be hauled in if you're damaging American society, and there are laws against that. And the idea that the Justice Department just throws up their arms, well, there's really nothing we can do. That's absolute garbage. And yes, they can do something.
Brigitte, I want to give you the final word. We have 30 seconds. If President Trump was in office, what do you think he'd do about all these protests, these anti-Semitic, hateful protests?
Oh, he will immediately take action. Look what he did when the protesters were breaking down our historical monuments, how he immediately criminalized their action, and we saw a stop to it immediately. He will be able to take action, protect the campuses, and protect America. He will not put up with this baloney and charade, the anti-Americanism we are seeing on our college campuses. Not just anti-Semitism, but anti-Americanism as well.
Absolutely. All right, we'll leave it right there. Thank you both so much for joining me, and have a great rest of your Sunday.
Take care.
Thank you.